Hi, welcome to my channel. In today's video I will share with you about being kind doesn't mean you allow others to use you. Set your boundaries so people don't take our kindness for granted. What if your greatest strength is secretly being used against you? Your empathy, the very thing that makes you a good person, might be the exact quality manipulators are targeting to get what they want. If you've ever felt drained by relationships where you give and they take, this video will change everything. I'll show you the invisible system that's been working against you and the exact techniques to break free while keeping your kind heart intact. Have you ever noticed that the same types of people keep showing up in your life? Those who always need something, who make you feel guilty for having boundaries, who somehow turn your generosity into an obligation? It's not a coincidence. You've unknowingly created what I call a manipulation ecosystem, a self-perpetuating environment where your kindness acts like a beacon, attracting those who are looking to exploit it. Let's get something straight: manipulators don't choose their targets randomly. They're like heat-seeking missiles, specifically scanning for empathy markers that signal potential targets. Your genuine concern for others, your willingness to help, your ability to see the best in people, these beautiful qualities are exactly what they're looking for. When you respond to someone's distress with compassion, you're displaying these empathy markers loud and clear. Think about that friend who initially asked for small favors. Maybe they needed a ride one time, then money for lunch, then help with their work. Before you knew it, they were expecting you to drop everything whenever they called. This is what I call the emotional vampire, someone who uses small requests that gradually escalate, creating a pattern of compliance that becomes increasingly difficult to break. The first ask is always reasonable, that's the hook. The second is slightly more demanding, but still within bounds. The third pushes a little further. Each time you comply, you're unknowingly training them that your boundaries are flexible. By the time their requests become unreasonable, you're already caught in a pattern that feels almost impossible to escape. This works because of a psychological principle called reciprocity weaponization. Normally, reciprocity is healthy: I help you, you help me. But manipulators create intentionally imbalanced exchanges. They'll do something small for you, perhaps give you a compliment or a token gift, and then ask for something much larger in return. When you hesitate, they'll remind you of their generosity, leaving you feeling perpetually indebted. Remember that coworker who brought you coffee one morning, and then expected you to finish their project that same afternoon? That's reciprocity weaponization in action. The small gesture was never about kindness, it was an investment expected to yield a much larger return. Then there's the boundary tester, the person who systematically probes for weakness in your personal boundaries through incremental violations. They'll forget agreements, show up unannounced, share your secrets with others, or touch you in ways that make you uncomfortable. Each small transgression tests how much you'll tolerate. If you don't firmly address the first boundary violation, they'll push a little further next time. It's like a scientist running experiments. They're gathering data on exactly how far they can go. What makes this particularly insidious is how they react when you finally object. Why are you making such a big deal about this now? You were fine with it before. What powers this entire ecosystem is what I call the kindness feedback loop. Your empathetic responses actually reinforce and reward manipulative behavior. When someone guilt trips you and you give in, you're teaching them that guilt tripping works. When someone plays the victim and you rush to rescue them, you're showing them that victimhood gets results. This isn't about blaming you, it's about empowering you. Understanding your role in the system gives you the power to disrupt it. Think of it like ecological intervention: change one element, and the entire ecosystem shifts. So are you being taken advantage of because of your kindness? Yes, but not because kindness is weakness. It's because manipulators have learned to exploit specific patterns in your behavior that you can now identify and change. Your compassion isn't the problem, it's that you haven't yet learned to pair it with discernment. Look at it this way, your kindness is like water. Water is essential for life, but without proper channels, it can flood and cause damage. You don't need to stop being kind, you just need to create healthy pathways for that kindness to flow, ones that nourish rather than drown you. So here we are, your kindness isn't the problem, it's your superpower. By recognizing the patterns we've discussed, you've already taken the first step toward reclaiming your compassionate nature on your own terms. Think about relationships like energy exchanges. The healthy ones leave you feeling recharged, respected, and valued. You know the difference now, those connections where you feel constantly drained, where guilt seems to be the primary currency, where your generosity is expected rather than appreciated. Those aren't serving you. The beautiful truth is that the world desperately needs more kindness, not less. Your empathy matters. Your compassion makes a difference. But like any powerful force, it deserves to be directed where it can truly flourish, toward people who honor it, appreciate it, and reciprocate it. Remember, protecting yourself isn't selfish, it's necessary. It ensures your kindness remains sustainable rather than exploitable. So shine your light brightly, but aim it toward those who reflect it back rather than those who attempt to capture it for themselves. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who needs a little motivation, and subscribe for more content. Here's to unleashing your potential, let's make those dreams a reality together. Don't miss out on empowering content, subscribe now. Thank you for watching and subscribing to my channel.